Who doesn't want to talk about Keffals right now?
I'm like frustrated. I'm legitimately frustrated because I feel like
I saw she just called you, she said you hated gay people that are like open about being gay or something. You only like self-hating gays or something.
I feel like I've pandered enough. Like, I don't know if you know this. All right, I'll be completely honest with you. I block at least 10 accounts a day when I make a Keffals tweet because they'll just like, I mean, they're people who follow me. These aren't just random people, like actual followers who I guess watch shows and stuff like that. Because like, they go in and they just write he under all the tweets, and it looks like I have like a huge fucking community of transphobes. And I've like openly spoken out against it multiple times and stuff like that. And I've like done my best
see,
to
okay,
try to
I have a
encourage
nuanced take on that stuff, right? So like, I think a lot of people overcry transphobia just where it like doesn't exist, or it really isn't even that big of a deal in my opinion. I mean, a lot of that shit's kind of easy to ignore. Hot take, I know. But I will say this, that being said, a lot of the people who are, you know, quote unquote transphobic, I mean, they really fucking like, they have, a lot of those people have like a weird like obsession with it. Like it's one thing that they don't like it or agree with it, but it's another thing that they like see it like, you know, they think like a trans person is gonna crawl out from under their bed and like rape them to death or something.
Well, yeah,
like,
you know, they like people.
It's a bit of an irrational, like their hatred and fear like dips into irrationality. It's like, okay, Jesus, like, all right.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of schizos.
I will say that.
I've gone out of my way to kind of draw a line.
But I do think, that being said, one last thing, and then I'll let you go, I promise. But I do think a lot of people, like, they'll see a comment where somebody, you know, is like, him, or, you know, they'll throw the dead name and stuff. And I think that that's, like, going too far. But I will say, that's very easy to fucking ignore. I know it's like, oh, you know, cyberbullying isn't real, you know, turn off the screen. But, I mean, literally, yeah. I think a lot of the people that cry about that shit, rather than just dismiss it, are fucking themselves over, but also contributing to their own problem. And in some cases, I think they use that to force you to like them or to agree with them on shit, which is annoying. Not all, of course, but I think a lot of the vocal minority act like that, and it's fucking annoying.
I don't like those people. I don't like when they do that. They're just blatant schizo transphobia for no fucking reason in my comment section. Or the people who try to justify it by saying like, oh, well, I don't respect Keffals, therefore I can do X, Y, and Z, like unprompted for no reason. I still think that argument's stupid. I think if I got mad at you, I wouldn't say that you've like lost your right to he, him pronouns and I'm gonna start calling you a they, them now because like I don't like you and I don't respect you. I think that argument's like really fucking stupid. At the same time, I feel like I kind of got away from what I made my channel as, and it was like really, really not giving a fuck about what my community says or does. I feel like I wanted to be charitable, especially in this instance, because this is like a hot button issue. And I feel like there are people who definitely aren't, and I see it a lot. But at the same time, I feel like Keffals, again, like I'm saying I'm charitable. I'm definitely mean to Keffals. I'm not saying that I'm like being nice and like really trying to like smooth this over like Willie Mack show or something. I'm being mean, but I think I'm being fair. And like the olive branches that I kind of...
Well, I think you're being transphobic.
Well, the thing is, like, that's how people treat me in this instance, and it made me realize that, like...
Yeah, no, let me tell you something. Bro, I've been wanting to talk about this, all right? When I went on Keffals' stream to talk to her, you know what her chat was saying whenever Keffals would, like, ask me my positions? They were all spamming, and I looked at her chat. I closed it because it was pissing me off, but they were all saying that he's not being honest. Admit that you're transphobic. And it's like, man, my real answer is I don't care, all right? My real answer, which is a cop-out answer, I acknowledge, but I'm not interested in your fucking shit, all right? I don't give a fuck. But they wanted me to come on there and say, they were basically all saying, call her a T-slur. Call her like, her own chat was saying that. And it's like, what? So you want me to victimize you, basically? What kind of weird, twisted, fucking sick logic is this? You guys are fucking, like, I mean, you want to talk about mental illness, like, that on its own is mental illness right there. It's like wanting me to berate you. That's like if a black person was like, oh yeah? Lynch me. And it's like, okay, whoa, what the fuck? Like, chill. Okay, you need to relax. Yeah. Nobody would hear that and like think that that's normal.
Like, I think that Keffals is a huge attention whore, and I think that she grifts her position, and I think she leverages it for attention. And I don't think that any way, shape, or form of how I structure my argument is going to actually impact the outcome of what she says. I can literally say that Keffals just screams idpol every time somebody says something mean to her, and she'll send me like a picture of idpol and be like, no, see, look what I'm doing now. It doesn't make any sense. So I guess like in a roundabout outweigh what I'm trying to say is I think I'm walking back my position of moderating my chat. And
Dude,
I think I'm going
how
to
long
stop
until
doing
you make
that
one of
and
those
stop
like
blocking people who do that? And I don't think I care. I legitimately don't. So like if it's an instance where like if I'm just being like openly called transphobic and shit, you know what? I don't take responsibility for that. Every trans person I've ever gotten into an argument with, whoever like accuses me of something, is usually like super fucking understanding once I explain my position. So I don't really care anymore. I'm not like pandering to these people. That's where I
Dude, you know who I'm gonna start pandering to? This is my new decision. You know who I'm gonna start pandering to? People that get it. People that understand what we're doing. That's who I'm gonna start pandering to. I'm gonna start pandering to like sane people, normal.
I just think I got away from where I kind of started with this whole thing, and like it's just been another annoyance that I've had to like deal with. So I'm just not gonna do it. And yeah, I don't support that. I think there's like a lot of schizo transphobes out there, and I totally disagree with all of their positions or whatever. But it's not my problem to moderate my chat or something. And if you're a fucking piece of shit online and people don't like you, and your specific thing that you're introducing into every argument, even when it's not warranted, has a lot of people who like hate you for that reason. They're obviously going to be drawn to any drama with you. That's not a representation of my community. And I don't know. Sorry that happened to you, but I'm not going to sit here and police my comments 24/7 so you feel better about it. You can just block me and everybody else you fight with.
Well, you know what my old position was on the internet?
Hold on, the transphobia seems to follow Keffels everywhere she goes. Maybe it's not every single community of people, but maybe that's why she thinks that every person she interacts with is a Nazi. It's like I look in your comment section and all it is transphobia. Well, maybe Keffels, it's because you've garnered such a large fucking platform. I think you call yourself like one of Twitch's largest trans streamers. And
I don't. Is that true? I don't think that's true.
I don't think it's true, based off of numbers alone. If you go by Twitter retweets, maybe. I think when you declare war on kiwi farms and then like the whole army like
smart move.
hates you. Yeah, I don't know if you can necessarily critique anybody's audience ever again when you've literally declared war with like the unhinged schizo A-loggers. So I'm sure those people will follow you for the rest of your career, and it's not my community.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This shit, dude, stop giving a fuck. Okay, that's.
Yeah, I am. I'm done. I don't give a fuck anymore.
That's what you gotta learn, dude. You gotta just stop. You know, it no longer matters. Like, if we're gonna get banned, we're gonna get banned, and if we're not, we're not. I'm starting to think less in the sphere of like, what am I gonna say that's gonna get me banned? Because ultimately, anything you say could get you banned. Just stop caring, and also realize that getting banned isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. I feel like we do everything in the context of like, would this get me banned or not? And I think that I'm starting to realize that mindset is kind of poisonous.